Dit is Kuns in Vermaak met Marianah Lourens. Yes, Marianah Lourens with art and entertainment. And I am so excited because I am here at VP High School. It's their rehearsal time. And in a couple of days, the show opens. And it's a show I actually don't know, so they'll have to tell me about it. But I've got Mrs. Angela. I used to know her as Miss Angela Freer for many years. And she's Mrs. Barnard. She's their vocal trainer. She's here with us. But I've got some leads in the cast, and I've got Baki Twala. I've got Brooklyn Plaatjies, and Brooklyn and myself, we are no strangers to each other. I think you were still in primary school and we were in shows together, Brooklyn.
Yes,
oh
right.
My word. It's quite a few years.
Yes.
And then I've got Shlubi, Kazi Bacha, we call her Shlubi, right?
Yes.
Ntana?
Nana.
Nana.
Yes.
Okay, it's a,
Yes.
not a,
Yes.
we all have to get to know the clicks. But yes, the musical, it's called Once on This Island. Who's going to start telling us what it's about? Because I've never heard about this musical.
Once on This Island.
That's Brooklyn speaking.
Yes, this is Brooklyn Plaatjies. I play the role of T-Moon, which Kendall and I actually share the role. So Once on This Island is basically about a young girl and gods on an island. They take her on a journey and take her on a adventure to find which is stronger, love or death. And it's basically a show about life and a show about hope and faith. It's really inspiring.
What about you, Baki? Your role?
I play Papa Gay, the sly demon of death. So I am some would say the antagonist. I don't think so. I think my character is quite a nice person who has good intentions and is just a bit misunderstood. I help T-Moon, our main character, to go through this journey, and I set her up with a few challenges on the way, but it's a very fun role for me to play. I've never really done a role like this, but I'm finding that I'm enjoying it a lot.
So we actually have to come and see the show
You definitely
to know what you do.
Mm.
And what about you, Shlubi?
I play Asaka, Mother of the Earth, and I guide Tin as she goes and finds her Daniel at the Hotel Pozone.
You guide, so you like an angel almost.
Like her godmother.
Like a godmother. Because the book is based on a novel called My Love, My Love. So it's, as you say, it's inspirational, it's about hope, but it's also much about love. And we have to love one another. And now I'm looking at Mrs. Barnard, which they call her Mrs. Barnard, and Angela. Now, we've also been together where you've voice trained us for big shows. I think the one that I remember, which is like more than 10 years ago.
No, I think it was Annie Get Your Gun, wasn't it?
And before
This
that?
one, I'm trying to remember, sure.
I remember Annie Get Your Gun very well, but I'm sure there were some shows before that as well. But the whole thing is that you had to voice train them, but their voices sound so good, just talking.
No, they fitted their characters perfectly. Papa Gay needed to be this kind of evil, kind of manipulative character, and Bake, we just hearing her voice, we knew it fitted perfectly. She has this
Gentle.
but yeah, I agree with her. She's a bit misunderstood kind of character. She's cast as this evil character, but I think there's a bunch of other people that are actually, and you'll find it as the show goes, that come across as the good people, but actually have bad intentions. And then we have Azaka, who is this flamboyant, loud, extrovert character, and we were quite nervous auditioning at the school for this character because we were quite nervous we'll find someone. And Lumi came in and we were like, yeah, that's it. She just aced it to speak. I think it was in one line she sang, and we're like, okay, we found Azaka, here it is. Yeah, T-Moons were also quite a challenge, and that was probably the role that all the girls wanted to go for, but it was also very clear who the two T-Moons were. And again,
T-Moon, how do you spell it?
So Timoune.
Okay, T-Moon.
It means little orphan.
Okay. And you're sharing the role?
With Kendall, yes.
Are you alternating or?
Yes, so we'll be doing alternating nights. So it'll start with Kendall with opening night.
Yes, Kendall, love to you. We're thinking of you. I can't wait actually because opening night is a couple of nights away.
Yes.
And they can get their tickets obviously from phoning a number.
There's 2 ways you can get tickets. On the poster, there'll be a QR code that people can scan and book through a Google form. They can book their tickets through that way. And then you can also phone that number and they will send you to the right thing. And then a lot of our students and parents that are connected to the school can come into the school and buy tickets at the school as well.
Okay, I'll quickly say the school number, which is 041 508 6400, but we'll go back to that, how to get everybody. I just want to know the motive for even auditioning. I know Brooklyn's motive. She just wants to be in everything. And she is almost in everything. She overworks herself.
Yeah.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing.
Of course, you were in Matilda and you had quite a nice big part because the kids were all so busy on stage.
Yes.
They were all as big as can be, the children, because they were on stage, off stage, changing all the time. Quick changes all the time. I was in Matilda, but I didn't have too bad. I had 4 small little characters, yes, which was a pleasure because it was nice and you don't have all the stress you guys had. But now, first, Baki, I want to ask you, how did you get into being in a musical?
Honestly, I surprised myself, because I come from Swaziland, actually. I moved to Port Elizabeth last year and I started at VP. I just got here and I used to do accounting, but I dropped accounting and went for dramatic arts because everyone around me would tell me that I'm such a drama queen. So I said, you know what, let me explore this. And I found that I really enjoy it. And I found myself getting into the first show. When I got here, they were planning a show and I got into that show and I was just blown away by how much fun I was having. And I realized that this is something that I genuinely love. I really enjoy singing. So a musical was like, wow, I can combine both my loves, my passion for the stage and my passion for music. I was like so happy. And now I am here speaking on the radio about a show that I am in. I am just...
So you were not in shows in your school in Swaziland?
No, I was not. They did not offer dramatic arts as a subject or even an extramural. So this was...
I love Swaziland. I used to live just across the border in what is now something else that used to be Nelspruit, close to Kruger, and I used to go to Swaziland once a month to do business, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I used to sleep over in Swaziland. I loved being there. I loved the people. Dlamini is a very royal name. Yes. Okay, but we won't go there. That's for another time. Brooklyn, of course, you automatically just auditioned and were in, I suppose.
It came with a lot of nerves as well. I always find that I have so much nerves like going into an audition and it never gets easier, but I'm very grateful for the role.
Did you know which role you wanted to audition for or...
Yes and no, because when I saw the poster come out, I was like, I don't really know much about it. So when I did my research and I looked at the characters, I really found myself relating to Timoon. It was an easy choice who I wanted to be, and I really put my head forward and I looked at that role.
And is it a lot of singing?
It's a lot of singing. There's so much singing in the show. But when we do have our dialogue pieces, it really is important to the show.
That's so good to have, the dialogue as well.
Yes.
Not just the singing like an operette or something like that.
Yes.
And Shlubi, how did you get into being in a musical?
I heard at the school, we had an assembly where Mr. Louis showed a video of the show, but I wasn't at school that day. So I saw people writing their names at the Blake Hall and I was like, why are they writing their names? And my friends were like, oh, there's a musical at the school. So I was like, oh, let me write my name down. Probably I'll be a dancer or something like that. Then I wrote my name down and then I heard it's once on this island. So I did research on the show and then I saw Azaka, Mother of the Earth, and then I listened to her song Mama Will Provide and I fell in love with the character. And I remember going to Mrs. Barnard and I was like, oh ma'am, I want to audition for Azaka. And ma'am was like, oh, you can't audition for Azaka because we need like a motherly person. So I was like, oh, and then I was devastated about that. And then ma'am was like, I must audition for the ensemble. And I listened to an ensemble song, and then I was like, no, I actually like Mama Will Provide. So the day of the audition, I auditioned Mama Will Provide. When I didn't even know the lyrics of the song, I Googled them and I got the part of Azaka.
So did you learn them then, the words?
Yes, I did. I learned them with my sister, helped me learn the words.
You actually memorized it.
Yes.
And you got the part.
Yes,
So it just shows you, if you actually put in the effort and you go to the trouble, then you can get the part.
Yeah.
And you would have been fine with ensemble.
Yes, I would. Now that I see the ensemble, I was like, oh, it's actually really nice.
It's always nice to be in an ensemble. I've been in many ensembles because when I hear kids like you who can sing and people who can sing like your Mrs. Barnard here, when I hear all of you guys, I know I can't sing. So I'm always admiring people who can actually sing. Of course, I want to ask you also, Angie, whatever brought you into, of course, you've always been singing, haven't you?
Yeah, no, since I was little, I think I remember being forced to audition for our junior choir at school. I only went there because my friends were going and they needed the support. And then she was like, aren't you going to sing? And I was like, I'm not a singer. And then I sang, and I just remember they all turned around with like, what? You can sing? I was like, I can sing. And after that, the choir teacher kind of pushed me into auditions for EP Children's Choir, and that's where I got my training. And then, just loved singing after that and just never stopped since.
And the rest is just history.
Yes, no. I mean, I tell my class all the time, I got a little note from my primary school teacher saying I don't have too much potential in music. And I tell the kids all the time, if I'd believed that teacher, I wouldn't be here today.
You see, don't believe what people say either. And in your family?
No one can sing or perform, unfortunately.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. So
that is wonderful. What I want to ask is the show on Facebook, or how do they access?
So we've got lots of advertisement on our VP Facebook page and our VP
So they must go to VP.
So Victoria Park High School.
Victoria Park High School.
Yes. And we have all our advertisement on there. So we don't have a Facebook like our normal bigger local productions. Everything will be fed through our Victoria Park High School website, Facebook, Instagram. So anybody who is interested, please.
Okay, so just do Victoria Park High School. In fact, I think if they type in Victoria Park, then it just comes up.
Yes.
Then the school comes up, and then it'll all be there, because look, you've got a couple of days to go, so they must jump because tickets have been selling fast.
Yes.
And if you're lucky, you get standing room. Yes. Because I know the shows are always very well supported.
Well, maybe the girls can tell you a bit about the set, because this is a very unique set.
Very unique.
Tell us about the set. Who's going to start?
Go for it, Bake.
Okay, so our set, the technical name is Theatre in the Round, which means that we have an audience surrounding the entire set. And the bottom of our stage will be filled with sand, because we are on an island. So it'll be the beach sand, and you'll see all the island people there. And then we have the higher stage, which is where we put the hotel. And the hotel has its gates and it looks beautiful. And we have on stage left, we have the heavens. And that's where the gods are. And it's this really tall platform that I'm kind of scared of. But it's fun because I can see everything from up there. It's just such a different set from anything I've ever seen before, because we get to actually even interact with the crowd because we're so close to the crowd.
Do you ever go into the crowd, Brooklyn?
Yes, we do.
But how do you get onto this higher island?
So we actually have a road leading from the island up to the hotel stage, and it basically has the effect of where it's two different worlds. Mm-hmm. So we have a road leading from the island, which is where we live, like in poverty, and it's where the peasants live, up to the Grand Domes.
So that's more on a lower ground.
Yes.
And then it goes,
yes.
Okay, it's more
like a road.
Yes, like a road going uphill.
Yeah.
And your character, of course, being so loud and all that, you go up that road and shouting.
My role, I stand at the above. I'm always like at the above, only when I'm singing. Mama provides when I help Brooklyn. So I don't get a chance to go to the hotel and actually interact with the hotel people. I'm always with the island people and dancing with them. So.
Oh, okay. So you always on the lower ground, yes, being the supporting role.
Yes.
And was it quite difficult? Was it new songs for everybody?
Yes, this is actually, it's a very old musical that was revived a few years ago by a very beautiful production. And the energy and the excitement for the show came back with a revival. And since then now there's been a lot of hype, a lot of big Broadway stars that are kind of feeding into this new way, and they kind of revised it in the set and the songs. And this show is very similar. I always say to the kids, it's very similar to like Les Mis in that it's fully sung. Even the spoken dialogue is said over music.
Yeah.
So I think there's one scene in the whole show that does not have music underneath it, and that's it. Otherwise, the rest is spoken. So it was a challenge. So not only did they have to learn notes, they had to learn how to rhythmically speak the words in time with the music.
Yes, because rhythmically speak. That
Yes.
actually says it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't be finished with your sentence before the music is done.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
It's
So-
also it's like also very difficult that if you do like skip a line, you're off
You mess up
immediately.
the whole
So we have to really like stick and like help each other as well.
It's a new experience for even for the spectators.
And the show captures our VP culture. I think that was one of the reasons why when we chose, myself and Mr. Louis looked at the show, the energy, the soul, the essence, the excitement, it just feeds into the energy that's at VP. And I think I've seen the kids when we're not even supposed to be rehearsing, they are singing, they're practicing. I have to tell them to stop and save their voices, and they just want to sing the songs on the show because I think it's so much close to their style. And for me, I also feel like the African culture style. There's got this rhythmic drums and this kind of soulful movement. The kids, I can't move the way they move for even these big dance numbers. I think it's a musical that has a pull to young people, I feel, more actually than to this older crowd.
And you have a young director, Gemma Barnard,
Yes.
and we can't wait for her. And not related to you, Angela Barnard,
no.
not related at all.
And a young choreographer, Abby Ranwell.
And Abby Ranwell, and I've been in shows with Abby Ranwell even before I was in shows with you, Brooklyn. And of course Gemma as well. I can't wait for all of this to happen in the island field to just be experienced. So they can just look on Instagram, you said, on Facebook,
Our website.
your website, VP, and it's Victoria Park High School website. Get your tickets. Hurry, hurry. There will be tickets at the door, but I'm not going to bank on it. So please book. We open in 2 days' time. I'm saying we because I'm feeling so part of it. It's so nice to always be part of a production. You get to interview all the people and then you get to see the show, and then it's afterwards you get to phone all your friends and put it on Facebook and say, come and look. So please don't miss this one. So thank you so much, Angela, for our chat today. Thank you, Shlubi, for being here. Brooklyn and Baki. We'll see you at the theatre.
Yes.
Tyd vir my, Marianah Lourens, om te groet. Yes, time for Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment to say goodbye. Kuns en Vermaak wat nou groet met Arrivari.